challenge, but they seem to give the impression that they think they have it under control. You were there. What did you see? Is that the sense you got? And what are we not being told or shown?
Well, first of all, I was on ABC this week, Sunday show. They would not allow Martha Raddatz to even tour the facilities. They've shut all this off to the press, which tells me something's wrong, right? Because they're trying to hide something. But I will tell you, this was you can say what you want about Trump, but this was a policy that worked. What he did in negotiating the Remain in Mexico policy and the Central American asylum cooperative agreements basically got the border under control. We had a large decrease in crossings. And with the stroke of a pen, President Biden reversed all these policies. And for the life of me, I have no idea why. I grilled Secretary Mayorkas about why did you do this? Because now what's happening is that the traffickers are smart. They know what's going on. They've got a green light that we're open for business. And now we're returning back to catch and release again, back to kids in cages, all because of this reversal in policy that was actually working. So I'm going to try to put a lot of pressure for them to return to this policy. But until they do, we're going to continue to have a surge. And let me just finish by saying, I've seen this movie before. It's going to get worse in the springtime and really bad in the summer. And you're going to see a lot more people trying to get over.
Congressman, what's it going to take for the Biden administration to get the message that it is a crucial situation, not only for South Texas, but for the entire state of Texas and the country?
Well, I think they know that politically they're getting hurt by this. I mean, we got like Henry Cuellar, Democrat down in Laredo, complaining about it and posting the pictures of the kids. And this is like, they talk about they did this for humane reasons. They created a humanitarian crisis. I've been down there. I've seen this so many times. And you go down there and see the kids and the babies and the detention facilities, and they're overwhelmed so that they can't even house these children. And then they get released to HHS, and then they're living in the shadows in this underground world. It's a really bad policy, bad result for this administration. I hope, Ed, to your point, that politically they're going to understand that they've got to return to some form of the prior administration's policy.
Congressman, we heard that over the weekend, some of the things that have been changed is they are releasing some of these individuals without a court date. How does that play out in the long run?
Well, the reason why Remain in Mexico worked and the Central American asylum agreements is because they never set foot in the United States. Once they do, and we don't have enough detention space, now we're putting them in hotel rooms, as I understand, then they are given a notice to appear, and they disappear. But with respect to the children, they're just going straight now to HHS, and they find a sponsor for them. And what happens, Melynda, is that they will call their families back in Guatemala, Honduras, El Salvador, and say, hey, I made it. So the administration, they've tried to change their messaging. Remember, the secretary says, well, I'm not saying don't come, just don't come right now. Mm-hmm. Well, what a horrible message of deterrence. I mean, that does not deter. And then when the families call back and say, hey, you made it in, they know that the policy is broken, no matter what they say now. And I think they've got a real problem. We have a real crisis, and I think it's going to be a big political problem for them.
Congressman, in the whole scheme of things, I think we saw this coming, as you said, with the stroke of the pen. Are there Democrats out there that will join you in this besides the Texas Democrats? And is it one of those priorities that's going to be up front with all congressmen and senators in the coming weeks?
Well, that's my hope. I mean, people that are rational, like Henry Cuellar and other Democrats along the border. You saw Congressman Vail is not running again. You know why? Because they're losing down there. And he knows that this border crisis is going to kill him in an election. So, I mean, I think, that's our only playbook here is to get the Biden administration to go back to these policies. They can renegotiate they can rebrand it. But you know what, Ed? It was working. They were remaining in Mexico. They were staying in Central America. Now the gates are open, and it's a disaster.
What are the odds that they do go back to some of these policies?
Well, to their own peril if they don't, because this thing's going to continue. And I predicted on Sunday that you're going to probably see up to 1 million people trying to get in, by the summertime. And, the traffickers are smart. They don't care about these children. They're the ones who separate the children from their parents for $8,000, and the parents have to mortgage their house, their ranches, $8,000, take these kids up through a dangerous journey where they're exploited and abused. It's really an awful humanitarian crisis. And for what? I mean, I don't understand why they did this. And I do think they'll pay a political price for it.
Congressman Michael McCaul, thank you so much for the update, and we'll check in again soon for another report on this really important story. Thank you so much, and have a great day.